Notorious blade killer Luke Mitchell samples a brief taste of freedom at his mum Corinne's funeral, but it could be a long time before he sees the sunlight again. The lifer caged for slaughtering 14-year-old Jodie Jones 26 years ago was comforted under bright blue sky by partner Gemma Chapman as prison guards held Mitchell in handcuffs. The 36-year-old murderer was allowed out of Shot's Neck under tight security as he said a final farewell to his mum, who passed away earlier this month after a health battle. It's thought to be the first time in over a decade Mitchell has been pictured in public. Balding and bearded Mitchell walked with his head down at Edinburgh's Mortonhall Crematorium as he exited the small Pentland chapel with around a dozen mourners at around midday. There was nothing on the daily list pinned on the wall to indicate who was being laid to rest during the 45-minute ceremony, which was described as a private service. Dressed in a black t-shirt and jeans, Mitchell shuffled mournfully, clutching an order of service as he followed Gemma, wearing a leather jacket and blue jeans, outside into the sunlight. Gemma, with a blonde streak and her long dark hair, walked beside a female prison officer, with Luke a few steps behind as she turned to face her infamous filler. They embraced and held each other for a lingering cuddle, knowing he would soon be back in his jail cell. And on Luke has said, "I had no idea it was Luke Mitchell until I spotted the prison guard in handcuffs. When he got jailed, he was just a teenager, and he looks very different today with that baldy head and beard. He spent a good while hugging a dark-haired woman and other mourners. He looked sorry for himself when he was being taken back to a blacked-out people carrier by the prison officers." What he did to poor Jodie was horrific, and who knows if he'll ever see freedom again. Earlier in the day, Corinne's coffin travelled alone from a nearby funeral home in a black horse and carriage, with nothing to reveal her identity to onlookers. White lilies were placed inside the carriage, and a discreet floral tribute at the foot of her casket simply said, "Mum." Other supporters who remain convinced Mitchell didn't murder his teen girlfriend Jodie were also seen offering their condolences. Some wore badges pledging support for the campaign to have Mitchell liberated, with one older lady seen wrapping her arms around the killer. Within an hour of Mitchell being hauled back to Shot's jail, his backers posted a message on social media revealing Corinne had died. It read, "It is with great sadness that we share the news that Corinne Mitchell passed away on the 9th of July 2026. Corinne was laid to rest following a private service, surrounded by the people who love her. Many of you came to know Corinne through her unwavering love and support for her son Luke. Those who knew Corinne also knew that she was a devoted mother who loved both her sons beyond measure. Despite her own health challenges, she remained determined, resilient and full of strength. Her humour, kindness and unwavering spirit touched the lives of so many. Although Corinne is no longer with us, her spirit will remain." They added her determination to see justice done will not be forgotten. Sick Mitchell was just 14 when he stabbed Jodie to death in woods near her home in Dalkeith in Midlothian in 2003. He was later sentenced to serve a minimum term of 20 years before being eligible for parole. He had been dating Jodie for 4 months when he killed her in what Judge Lord Nemo Smith later described as a truly evil murder. Mitchell claimed to have been alerted to her body by his dog while out looking for her. But Jodie was discovered with her hands tied behind her back, her throat cut and her body repeatedly slashed. Following a 10-month police inquiry, Mitchell was accused of her murder and was 16 when he was convicted at the High Court in Edinburgh in 2005. He has lost multiple appeals but has attracted a significant following of online supporters convinced of his innocence since a TV documentary was aired in 2021. Mitchell's mother Corinne and others have campaigned for more than 20 years to have the killer released. In their statement, the campaign group added, "Finally to Luke, we hope you know that you are not alone. There are many people who continue to stand beside you and who will honour your mother's memory by continuing to seek the truth. May Corinne rest in peace." We told in March last year how Mitchell and Gemma got engaged behind bars. According to a report at the time, it was claimed she had been campaigning for Mitchell's release for the past 20 years. She insists he was wrongly accused and says he is kind, caring and loving. A source told the newspaper that Mitchell popped the question in November 2024 after he was returned to high security Shot's jail in Lanarkshire, where he failed 2 random drug tests at HMP Greenock. They said at the time he asked the prison permission and did it. His parole condition, if he got it, would only permit him to be with named women. Mitchell was earlier denied parole after a psychiatric report concluded he was a sexual risk to women. Prosecutors told Mitchell's 2005 trial he was obsessed with Satanism. Mitchell, who was then 16, was convicted of what Judge Lord Nemo Smith called a truly evil murder.